Half of all six-figure earners are broke at month's end. Six figures used to mean rich. Now it means surviving. The math changed. Nobody sent you the memo. $100,000 now buys what $43,000 bought. Your salary grew. Everything you buy grew faster. Wages for the bottom 80%? Up 5% since 1979. Top 5% earners? Their wages jumped 41%. Median household income actually fell over 30 years. Employers with no local competition pay whatever they want. Kellogg researchers studied 300,000 factories. Power suppresses pay. Housing cost $100,000 in 1990, it costs $377,000 today. Healthcare was 5% of GDP in 1960. Now, it's 20%. Out-of-pocket medical costs up 27% since 1990. Average new car payment, $716 every month. 81% of car buyers need a loan just to buy a car. Total U.S. auto loan debt, $1.55 trillion. Car insurance inflation, 3.8% annually since 1990. $500 car policy in 1990. Same coverage costs $1,500 today. Homeowners insurance premiums more than doubled between 2001 and 2019. College tuition more than doubled from 1991 to 2021. Public university now costs $11,000 per year. Private, $38,000. Out-of-state tuition at one flagship university, $64,000 a year. What cost $100,000 in 1990 costs $231,000 now. Location decides everything. Same salary, completely different financial lives. Two workers, same paycheck. Opposite financial realities. Memphis, rent, $1,069. San Francisco, $3,000. San Francisco rent alone consumes 50% of your take-home pay. In Memphis, $100,000 effectively gives you $86,000 buying power. New Jersey, $30,000 for daycare, $20,000 for healthcare, $100,000. One number, 100 different realities. Coastal cities demand $150,000 to $200,000 to feel middle class. BLS data, you need $129,000 today for what $100,000 bought a decade ago. The goalpost moved, and it never announced itself. Higher income doesn't automatically mean wealth. Savings rate does. 60% of six-figure earners live paycheck to paycheck. Income is a river. Wealth is a reservoir. Most people have no reservoir. Lifestyle inflation kills more wealth than low income ever will. The person earning $60,000 and saving 20% beats the $100,000 spender. The system rewards the saver, not the earner. Period. You are not running out of income. You are running out of time to save it. Every year you wait to invest costs you compounding you will never recover. Inflation at 4 to 8% annually since 2021 makes delay catastrophic. Your problem isn't your salary. It's the system designed around your salary. So what actually works? The answer will reframe everything you just heard. Before I show you the system, remember this one brutal fact first. 90% of you aren't subscribed. Hit subscribe and drop a thumbs up. It helps more than you think. Here is the brutal fact. Wages are structurally designed to keep you reliant on them. Labor market concentration means your employer, in many regions, has no competition for your labor. Knowledge workers post-pandemic can apply nationally. That mobility is a massive advantage. Meet Alex, earns $100,000 in San Francisco, saves nothing, stressed every month. Meet Jordan, earns $70,000 in Memphis, saves 18%, building real wealth. In 10 years, Jordan's portfolio at 10% average returns will be $300,000. Alex's portfolio in the same period? Still zero. Rent ate everything. Your income is not your wealth. Your savings rate is. Two roads, same starting point. One choice separates millionaires from paycheck chasers. Start with your savings rate. Target 15 to 20% of gross income minimum. Fund your Roth IRA first. $7,000 per year if you're under 50. Roth IRA grows tax-free. Every dollar you pull out in retirement costs you nothing in taxes. After Roth IRA, maximize your employer 401k match. That is a 100% instant return. Automate every transfer on payday. Remove the willpower variable entirely. The best investment account isn't the highest return one. It's the one you actually fund. Peter Thiel turned his Roth IRA into over $5 billion. Tax-free. Legally. Inside your Roth IRA, buy VOO. That's the S&P 500. 30-year average return, 10%. Add VTI for total U.S. market exposure. Broader base, same cost efficiency. Add SCHD for dividend income. Real cash flow, growing every year. VOO plus VTI plus SCHD, 3 funds, a full wealth-building engine. Fees matter more than almost any other single variable over 30 years. 1% annual fee on $200,000 costs you $170,000 in lost growth. VOO expense ratio, 0.03%. Most active funds, over 1%. Diversification is not about owning more. It is about owning less of the wrong things. Alex in San Francisco finally decides to move to a lower-cost city. His savings rate jumps to 14% overnight. That 14% savings rate, invested in VOO, grows to $350,000 in 15 years. The biggest financial decision you make is where you choose to live. Every $1,000 you save in monthly expenses equals $240,000 over 20 years. Drive your car to zero. The average car payment of $716 frees up wealth faster than almost anything. $716 per month into VOO for 20 years at 10%. $530,000. Housing is the largest drag on wealth for most Americans. Right-size it aggressively. Keep housing below 25% of gross income. Most Americans are at 40% or more. Healthcare costs are partly controllable. HSA contributions are triple tax advantaged. You've heard the problem. Now here's the insight that completely changes the calculus. Here is the insight nobody gives you. The real wealth gap isn't income. It's time in the market. Starting at 25 versus 35 means twice the ending portfolio. Same contributions. The compounding math is indifferent to your salary. It only cares about time. $1,000 per month at 10%, average returns. Over $200,000 in 10 years. Compound interest is not a math concept. It is a boulder rolling downhill. Slow at first, then unstoppable. In years 1 through 7, the boulder barely moves. Most people quit here. By year 15, the curve goes vertical. The boulder becomes a runaway force. $100,000 invested at 25 becomes $1.7 million by 65 at 10%. The S&P 500 has never had a negative 30-year rolling return. Not once in history. But most people sell during downturns, turning temporary drops into permanent losses. Vanguard data shows the average investor underperforms the market by 1.5% annually due to timing errors. 1.5% underperformance on $500,000 over 20 years. $260,000 in lost wealth. The stealth wealth mindset. Your neighbor doesn't know your net worth. That's the point. The person driving a 10-year-old Toyota with $1 million portfolio beats the BMW leaser infinitely. Every luxury purchase you avoid is a compounding asset you keep. Every lease is a compounding loss. Here is the reversal. The wealthy don't look wealthy. That's the tell. Stanley and Danko's Millionaire Next Door research. Most millionaires drive used cars and live in average homes. Your savings rate is not a number. It is the gap between who you are and who your money thinks you are. Jordan, our Memphis saver, just hit year 8. The boulder starts accelerating. Alex relocated and started investing 3 years ago. His curve is just beginning to accelerate. 90% of wealth is built in the last third of your investing timeline, which is exactly why starting now, even small, beats starting later with more. Federal Reserve data. Median retirement savings for Americans aged 55 to 64 is just $87,000. $87,000 at 4% withdrawal rate gives you $3,480 per year to live on. $3,400 per year. That is $290 per month in retirement income from savings. This is the retirement cliff most people don't see coming until it's too late. Social Security average monthly benefit in 2024, $1,907. Not enough. You cannot Social Security your way to a dignified retirement. It was never designed to. Your portfolio must bridge that 60% gap. And it can if you start the boulder rolling now. Everything you've learned so far leads to one system. Here it is, and it's simpler than you think. The complete wealth-building system starts with one brutal cut. Eliminate your largest discretionary expenses first. Step 1. Track every dollar for 30 days. You cannot manage what you cannot see. Step 2. Automate 15% of gross income to investments before it hits your checking account. Step 3. Max your Roth IRA annually. $7,000. Set it up once, automate monthly contributions. Step 4. Capture your full 401k employer match. Every employer match dollar is a guaranteed 100% return. Step 5. Invest in VOO, VTI, and SCHD. Keep fees below 0.10%. Never chase performance. Step 6. Rebalance annually. 30 minutes once per year. Do not touch it otherwise. The entire system takes under 2 hours to set up. The hard part is leaving it alone. The real enemy is not cost of living. It is inaction disguised as confusion. Waiting 1 year to start investing at 30 costs you $42,000 in lost compounding by 65. Your HSA is a stealth retirement account. Contribute $3,850 annually if single. After 65, HSA funds convert to general retirement savings. Any expense, no penalty. The 3-account stack: Roth IRA, 401k to match, taxable brokerage. In that order. In a taxable brokerage, buy VOO and hold. Tax loss harvest in down years to reduce your tax bill. Long-term capital gains tax rate for most earners: 15%. Far better than income tax. The stealth wealth car strategy: buy used, pay cash, drive it 10 years, redirect the payment to VOO. $716 per month redirected from a car payment into VOO for 10 years, $140,000. Housing strategy: buy in a lower-cost market and invest the difference in rent versus coastal cost. $2,000 monthly rent difference. Invested for 15 years at 10%, $800,000. The boulder Jordan started rolling 8 years ago just crushed through every obstacle in its path. Jordan's portfolio at year 8, $108,000 and accelerating. Alex's portfolio, after relocating and saving for 5 years, $92,000. Both are building real wealth. Not because they earn more, because they chose differently. The system doesn't reward the highest earner. It rewards the highest saver, consistently, over time. Morningstar data: investors who automate contributions outperform those who invest manually by 1.8% per year. 1.8% over 20 years on a $500,000 portfolio, $260,000 in extra wealth. You do not need to beat the market. You need to own the market and stop paying to underperform it. 92% of actively managed funds underperform the S&P 500 over 15 years. That's the SPEV data. The simplest portfolio that will outperform 92% of fund managers. VOO and hold. The boulder doesn't care about the economy. It just keeps rolling, if you let it. Market downturns are not threats. They are discount sales on the same assets you want. Dollar cost averaging removes the timing risk entirely. Invest the same amount every month, regardless. If you invest $500 per month into VOO for 30 years at 10%, you retire with $1 million. $500 per month is $16.67 per day. Skip one restaurant meal. The education cost trap. Avoid private university debt when a state school plus investing the difference makes you richer. $27,000 per year in saved tuition costs. Invested for 20 years at 10%. $1.7 million. You think tuition is an investment. It can be, but unchecked, it's debt that eliminates your real wealth window. Here is the third reversal. The problem was never that $100,000 isn't enough. It's that you spend it like it's $200,000. Lifestyle inflation is the silent tax that no one talks about. Every raise consumed is a raise wasted. When you get a raise, invest 50% of it before you feel it. The rest is yours to enjoy. Jordan and Axe both used this raise rule. Combined, they will be financially independent before 60. Financial independence isn't a number. It's a rate. When your portfolio income exceeds your expenses, you're free. Jordan reaches financial independence at 58. Alex at 62. Both started from the same income paradox. At 4% withdrawal from $1 million, you generate $40,000 per year, indefinitely. Inflation adjusted. $1 million sounds impossible. But $500 per month for 30 years, at 10%, gets you there. The real lesson: $100,000 isn't rich or poor. It's a starting material. What you do with the first 20% determines the fate of the other 80. Every time. The 6 steps. One more time. Track, automate, Roth IRA, 401k match, low-cost ETFs, rebalance annually. You do not need $100,000 to start. You need a consistent percentage and time. Every week, I break down one boring financial document so you don't have to. That is this channel. The answer was never $100,000. It was always the boulder, and whether you started rolling it. Half of six-figure earners are broke at month's end. But now you know exactly why, and exactly what to do. Every week I decode one boring financial document so you don't have to. If this changed how you think, subscribe and leave a thumbs up.